welcome back to my channel. And in this week's video I wanted to share I don't know if this is going to be a full what I eat in a week or maybe a what I eat in a few days. I've been in Italy for the past week celebrating a really good girlfriend and her wedding. It was just so beautiful. If you follow my Instagram, or if you follow me over on Instagram, I did post tidbits of our entire week over on there, mainly on my stories. So if you're not following me over there, be sure to do so. If you can't tell from my voice, I feel like it's a little raspy. I can tell that something's going on. And then also, I can kind of feel something in my throat a little bit. So I just need to really just eat some very nutrient dense but delicious food this week. So that's what I'm going to show you in this video. And just before we left, we did have to do a fridge clean out, which means our fridge is pretty bare. So I did go to the grocery store and I want to show you everything that I picked up. I picked up some baby arugula. I also got some tofu. This is extra firm tofu, organic extra firm tofu. I also picked up some chickpeas, some blackberries, which I absolutely love. I got some cherries because they are in season. And I'm so happy that these are back in season, or at least I saw these at the grocery store and they're organic. These are the Sun Gold kiwis. This is gonna be so perfect, especially as I feel like something's going on with my throat. So let me go ahead and stock up on the vitamin C and all the other vitamins that my body needs and minerals. But I absolutely love these so much. They have so much vitamin C in them and they just taste so delicious. So I'm really glad that I saw these at the grocery store. I also picked up a yellow onion and some garlic, and then I got some frozen spinach. I'm mainly going to use the frozen spinach in one of my husband's meals. He likes to meal prep for the week, so wanted to grab him some of that so he can just have some added veggies to his meals. I also got some celery and then kale. Got some good old dino kale. Yum yum. So I also picked up some carrots. I wanted to get the carrots with the tops because I saw somewhere, or it might have been on TikTok, someone say that they use the carrot tops in a sauce. So I want to see how that tastes. And then I've never cooked with rhubarb before. If you know me, you know I love trying new vegetables and just really stepping outside of my comfort zone. Hopefully this won't be my last time purchasing rhubarb, because hopefully I can find some delicious recipes that call for it. But yeah, I picked up some rhubarb. And then I also got some golden beets. They are so gorge. And of course I'm keeping the stems. Ooh. Maybe I can do something with the stems and the leaves along with the carrot top stems and leaves. That might be a good little idea. But anyway, so that is everything I picked up from the grocery store. I feel like this is going to be a really good week, some very nutritious eats. So if that is something that you're interested in, be sure to stick around. I'm going to go ahead and put these groceries up. I still need to, let me show you this. My suitcase is literally still right there. So when I tell you that I just got back, I seriously mean it. So I'm gonna put these groceries up, empty out my suitcase, and kind of just relax for tonight. As you saw this morning, her and I went on a little coffee date. He got a pup cup. I got, he heard me say pup cup again. He got a pup cup. I got a matcha. So today is Saturday. I do have a few things that I want to do today. I'm honestly debating taking these braids out because they're annoying me. I'm tired of them. So I might do that today. I also have to do some editing for a video that I want to post. But yeah, so let's go ahead and put breakfast together. Okay, so we're about to put this quiche together, and I found a few recipes that I'm drawing inspiration from, but what is consistent with most of them is the fact that we're going to use some firm tofu, which I have right here. I'm also going to go in with some soy milk, throw in some Dijon mustard, some cornstarch, and then in here I have my tofu scramble seasoning blend, which is a combination of like curry powder, turmeric, smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and nutritional yeast. That's gonna be the filling, so a tofu based filling. And then as far as the veggies go, I'm gonna go in with some asparagus, fennel, mushrooms, kale, and onion. Maybe some garlic as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and put on a show and just vibe out, relax, and put this together. Okay, so right now I'm sitting down waiting for the stove to heat up so I can cook up the veggies. For my filling, I actually had to go back in and add just like a few more things. I gave it a taste test and decided that I wanted to add a bit more of the Dijon mustard. I also threw in some more kalonamic, so the black salt, to give it an eggy flavor. I added more garlic powder, onion powder, and more soy milk to kind of just thin it out. We are really having a slow morning. This is honestly about to be lunch. I'm very proud of myself for just taking my time this morning and not rushing. Initial thoughts, I like it. However, I definitely want to tweak it because I would like for it to be a bit more firm, because right now it's just like very soft and creamy. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of kalonamic on top. Sprinkle the kalonamic at the end. Chef's kiss. Okay, y'all, so for dinner, I'm making what I'm calling a get well soon, or maybe just a get well soup. And I'm using ingredients like carrots, lemon, some turmeric, ginger, onion, garlic, and celery. And then I'm gonna throw in just this pasta just to kind of add more volume to the soup. Y'all, I need this. This is hopefully going to help boost my immune system. Been drinking lots and lots of water, and I guess the only thing left for me to do is just to rest. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this get well soup. Okay, so our soup is all done and it is so delicious. You can taste all of the flavors, and it was such a good idea cooking the lemon in the oil with the veggies and then squeezing the lemon in the soup mix. So delicious. Looks so yum. Now if this doesn't get me closer to feeling better, I don't know what will. Babe, you are so sweet. You are so sweet. Do you know why I'm saying that? Yes. All right, good morning. Well, actually, good afternoon, because it is lunchtime. This morning I didn't have much of an appetite. I honestly was not feeling the best, but I finally feel better, which is why I decided to get up and get out the bed and make myself some food. For lunch, I have been really excited for this soup that I made for dinner last night. So I'm gonna have that, and then I was really feeling a soup and sandwich combo. So I'm gonna make a sandwich and I'm going to load it up with some arugula, some red onions. I have this tempeh bacon that I'm gonna cook up and add to it for some protein. I also received some PR from a brand, and they included this vegan pesto from Sprouts in there, and so I'm going to add this to the sandwich. I'm just gonna dip the sandwich in the soup. I'm just taking today slow so that I can get the rest and recovery that my body clearly needs. So let's go ahead and get into lunch. But yeah, so I'm just making a little sandwich, but I have put some carrots, so I'm gonna add that on here. Red wine vinegar. I know you mix that up.
You gonna put some tomatoes on there?
Right there, and I'm gonna have this with my soup. Watch it. And then get that. Y'all want
Yeah, be generous with that. Yes.
I know, be fancy.
Oh, you have some cucumbers?
No, I don't. Okay, y'all, I decided to get up and make something of myself. I needed to get up, refresh, move my body, all the things, and I'm glad I did. Lunch was delicious, but now I'm about to put together what they're calling, or what is called, a flu bomb. I don't think it's anything necessarily new. So everything that I'm putting in here, I'm gonna use that much garlic. Maybe I need more. Also have ginger, the juice of half of a lemon, cayenne pepper, a generous amount of raw honey, and some warm water. And then last but not least, I have a little bit of Celtic salt that I'm gonna add in here too. Stir this all up. I could do this. Okay, y'all, I honestly look like what I've been going through, so I'm going to spare you the visual. But for lunch today, I'm making lettuce wraps. I love lettuce wraps down, so in my lettuce wraps, I'm going to include more of that tofu. I'm just gonna cube it up, toss it in a little bit of coconut aminos, coat it in some cornstarch, and pop it in the oven for about 30 minutes on 400 degrees. And then on the stove, I'm just gonna cook up this carrot, this Fresno pepper, and some garlic. And then here I just have some butter lettuce that I'm gonna use to wrap the tofu and the veggies in. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder, some onion powder, some salt, and black pepper. Shake it up. For as much tofu as I'm using, I'm probably gonna do about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And here's what it looks like. All right, and add the tofu. Just space it out. And my oven is set on 400 degrees. I'm about to throw this in there for 30 minutes, and halfway through, I'll flip the tofu. And while we wait for the tofu in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and grate this carrot. Now I'm gonna slice this Fresno pepper. I'm going to thinly slice the garlic. Okay, so the tofu is done in the oven now. The white that you see is just from the cornstarch and the oil not coating that part, but it is time to throw this in the mixture so that we can finally eat. blackberry. All right, y'all, it is snack time. I love my husband so much because he went to the store, and when I tell y'all, he bought so much fruit, and he, like, oh my gosh. So I just put some raspberries in there. I am a huge fan of blackberries, and so is Sir, as you saw. Also love me some blueberries, so those are gonna go in here too. We recently saw these at the store. These are ruby red kiwis, and this is our second little container. I feel like they're pretty good. Are they as good as my sun gold kiwis? No, but I like them, and they are so gorgeous. Like, are you kidding me? I'm also gonna add some cherries in here. Look what I have. It's a cherry pitter. Put this right here. Easy squeezy, lemon peasy. Seed gone. And there's our fruit bowl. Okay, y'all, it is time for dinner, and I decided that I wanted to make some wonton soup. And we're gonna stuff the wontons with veggies and protein. So let me show you everything that I'm using. For my protein, these are pea protein crumbles that I just soaked in water. This is the brand of pea protein crumbles, and you can use any brand of pea protein crumbles that you want. I just had these because I kind of stocked up, and they're very convenient. You just soak them in some water, let them sit for about 10-15 minutes, and you're good to go. Right here I have some hen of the wood mushrooms. I had already had these in the fridge, and I just used half of it. I'll probably just use the other half in another recipe later this week. This is garlic, that's ginger, red onions, carrots, and I have bok choy, which I'm going to simmer in the broth. I'm feeling much better. I'm really excited. I feel like I'm coming to the tail end of whatever it is that I have going on. I'm just gonna add a little bit of sesame oil. Okay, so I feel like it's done cooking. It's gonna cook more once I add it to the broth. So next I'm just going to stuff these in the wonton wrappers. Oh, and these are the brand of wontons I'm using. I know I'm gonna get questions, so just wanted to make sure I showed you the brand. You can probably find these at most grocery stores. Okay, so in here I just have some water, a little bit of sesame seed oil, and green onions. I'm gonna add some coconut aminos. I picked up this vegan oyster sauce from my local Asian market, so I'm gonna add a little bit of this in there as well. And then I'm gonna also add a little bit of this rice vinegar. I almost forgot, I dropped a dollop of the Better Than Bouillon low sodium vegetable base in here as well. When I was in Italy recently, I learned how to stuff or to make tortellini. I feel like this is going to be very similar as far as like the folding and everything goes. So I'm just gonna brush these with some water. Then they had us fold it over like this. Press the edges with a fork just to seal them. Add more water right here and pinch them together like that. Wontons are all wrapped, and now we're just about to simmer them in our broth. It's really hot. Now we gotta have a little spice, so I'm adding some chili oil. Y'all, this looks so delicious. All right, let's dig in. Woo! Oh my gosh, that was really good, but it's so hot. I need to let this cool down. 10 out of 10. Okay, y'all, breakfast is served. While I've been under the weather, I decided to switch my hair up. Listen, that's one thing I'm gonna do is change my hair. And it's just giving spring, summer, perfect for the warm weather. I love it so much. But anyway, for breakfast today, I'm having some of the leftover quiche, and it's still delicious. And then I also popped some asparagus in the oven. I just seasoned it with some salt and black pepper, and then I just cut up some fruit, as you saw. So I have my strawberries, raspberries, and kiwi. Okay, and also please please do me a favor. If you have any meals, recipes, beverages that are your go-tos when you're feeling under the weather, please leave them in the comments, because having an arsenal of recipes that I know will just help nurse us back to health when we are feeling under the weather is a need, okay? One thing I don't want to do whenever I am feeling under the weather next time is have to sit and think about what I want to make. If I can just already have the ideas, it will make this time so much easier and just allow me to rest more. So leave some ideas in the comments if you have any. Let me know what your go-tos are. Okay, y'all, for lunch today, I just had to whip something together really quickly, but here is just some shredded dino kale with some arugula. I tossed it in a little bit of olive oil, salt, black pepper, and the red wine vinegar. We're just having a salad for lunch today. But here I'm just cooking up some plant-based steak. This is from the brand Beyond Meat. One thing I do want to mention, because I know I'm gonna get comments about this, I enjoy plant-based meats every now and then. I do not have a perfect diet, but I do try to eat whole foods the majority of the time. But I also didn't want to exclude it. I honestly thought about not even including me making this, mainly because I was like, oh my gosh, people are going to be critical and like, oh my gosh, why are you eating that? And people still might say that. That's why you didn't see me start cooking it, because I honestly debated even including it in here, but I wanted to be very transparent. Like, hey, you don't have to be perfect. I'm not eating these plant-based meat alternatives all the time, which if you've seen my previous videos, you would also see that. And I also don't want to preach like everything in moderation, because moderation over time becomes a habit. But every now and then I am enjoying plant-based meat alternatives, especially when I want to and when I feel like it. So yeah, add a little bit of salt on that. I have the plant-based steak. I also have some fire roasted corn. I also have some beet kraut that I want to add on here too. This is the beet kraut that I used. I actually got this one from Whole Foods. I don't know if this is a local brand. The brand is Pickled Planet. You might be able to find some other brands out there that make something similar. This actually looks really delicious. I'm so excited to dig in. This is what the Beyond Steak Bites look like. I actually worked with them on the campaign maybe a handful of months ago. It was content that they posted on their feed. And that was my first time trying it, and I thought it was really good. I probably had it a couple times since then because I do really enjoy it. This is really good. Okay, you remember the rhubarb that I purchased from the grocery store? I have half of it left over here because I used the other half to make a strawberry and rhubarb jam, which, let me show you, it's right here. Yum, and it's actually really good. I just did strawberries, rhubarb, chia seeds, lemon juice, and stevia. But I'm gonna use that in my matcha, and we're gonna do a strawberry matcha latte. Haters will say that I sped that up, but no, I'm just good at this. And we're about to just blend this to make strawberry milk. Ooh. Wow, this is so... I don't want y'all to talk about me. Yum! All right, good morning, friends. Oh my gosh, we had a time last night celebrating my brother. So much fun. But this morning, I decided that I wanted to make a 3-seed oatmeal. So I'm gonna be using some hemp seeds, chia seeds and flax seeds, and then I'm just gonna add some protein powder for some additional protein, dairy-free milk, flavor it up with some maple syrup and cinnamon, and then add my choice of toppings. This is my second time making it, and the first time I really enjoyed it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into breakfast. So as of right now, I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons of each seed. So this is chia seeds. I only had milled flax seeds, so that's what I'm gonna use. All right, and then my hemp seeds. I just added enough milk to kind of soften it. I'm gonna add some protein powder and some more milk. I didn't measure the milk, so I kind of just like to get it to a consistency that I like. Adding my berries, and then here's that jam that I made. I'm gonna add a little bit of that on here too. And lastly, a few chunks of granola. Also added a little bit of milk too, but here is breakfast. And this is a very nutrient dense breakfast because it has healthy fats, protein, and fiber. This is really, really yummy.